I love bears, and I'm guessing you do too. Bears are awesome, amazing animals, but sometimes getting too close to them can lead to some dangerous encounters. Today, we are looking at 3 unbelievable encounters from 2024. We have a supermarket standoff in Japan, we have a man who jumped on the back of a polar bear to save his wife, and we have a 12-year-old boy who saved his father from a black bear. Let's get into it. And remember, nature is random and chaotic. For our first story, we are heading to Akita City in Japan. Here, a black bear wandered into an Itoku supermarket, basically Japan's version of a Safeway. Now, a lot of people might not even be aware that there are bears in Japan. In fact, there are 2 different species of bears. There is the Asiatic black bear, sometimes referred to as the Japanese bear if you're in Japan. Asiatic black bears are known for their white crest across the chest. It kind of looks like a V. Now, this one looks like Batman. And for reference, here is a map of where Asiatic bears live. So not only are there black bears in Japan, there are brown bears that live in the northernmost island. Now in this story, it takes place in the morning before the supermarket is open, but there is at least one employee inside preparing for the day. Now I bet he never would have guessed he's going to have a run-in with a black bear inside the supermarket, but that's exactly what happens. The bear enters the supermarket and eventually runs into the employee working, and they have a confrontation between the two. Luckily, the man was able to escape without any serious injuries. But now there's another problem. A bear is locked in a supermarket. The authorities were notified and assessed the situation, and they end up having a standoff with the bear for 2 full days. Now, if you're a bear in a supermarket for 2 full days, what are you going to do? So the bear had an all-you-can-eat buffet inside the supermarket. Where's it heading first? Deli section, right for that meat, probably that expensive Wagyu. Ooh, I want some Wagyu. I've never tried it. It sounds so good. I imagine it looked something like this. So the bear is just living it up during this time, while outside, the authorities are having a standoff with this bear. Authorities attempt to capture the bear using traps. They put honey, apples, and bread, and whatever they could find, put it into the traps to lure the bear into them. I mean, it's got an all-you-can-eat buffet going on, so why would it do that? Hence why it took the 2 days. But finally, after 2 days, one of the traps went off and they did capture the bear. Not as much a happy ending for the bear as they did have to take care of it. A sad but necessary decision since it had already proven dangerous to humans. That does sound like a wild trip for a bear in a supermarket though. And one of the crazier things that I wasn't even aware of is that in Japan they're having a lot of man-bear conflict there, more than I ever thought that they would. Like, it's actually an issue there in Japan. Something we might have to follow up on in a later episode. For our second story, we are going to December 2024, and we are going to Fort Severn First Nation. It is a small remote community up in northern Ontario, Canada. So it's cold, it's isolated, and you have to contend with the world's largest land carnivore, a polar bear. Now in this story, we have an unnamed married couple. It's 5 a.m., they are going outside, and it is -8 degrees Fahrenheit. And they go outside, and right in their small driveway, they run into a polar bear. Not an everyday thing that happens, I imagine. Or does it? I don't live there, but I doubt it. They come face to face with the polar bear, and the polar bear does exactly what you would think it would do. Goes after him. First, going after the wife. And while the bear is going after the wife, now whether it was brave or stupid or a combination of both, the husband jumps on the back of a polar bear to save his wife's life. Nothing like jumping on the back of the world's largest land carnivore, you know. Well, his brave, stupid actions did save his wife. I guess that leans more towards brave. However, now, the bear is going after him. They have a scuffle, but fortunately, a neighbor who heard the commotion comes out and rushes over to help. The neighbor takes action, pew pew, and this did stop the bear from attacking the man further, preventing what could have been an even worse situation. Now the husband was injured and rushed to a medical facility where he is expected to make a full recovery. Now, polar bear attacks are very rare. What's even more rare is to survive a polar bear attack. The people of Fort Severn are very prepared for these types of situations with polar bears. They have polar bear patrols to help keep the residents safe, and they actually keep all of their cars unlocked on the streets just in case a polar bear comes to town and someone needs to make a quick escape. Polar bears are extremely dangerous. What's the saying? If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, you're Well, most of the time, these guys were very, very lucky. And I absolutely love polar bears. Look at this cute little polar bear. Well, before our last story, let's take it to this hunk of a man. This is Dave, everyone, the co-host of Force of Nature podcast. And we're going to take it to him for a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by A Singing Pickle.
Wow, thank you, Dave. And thank you, Singing Pickle. Now on to our last crazy bear story from 2024. So we are going to September 2024 and we are going to Siren, Wisconsin. Here we're going to meet the father and son, Father Ryan and 12-year-old son, Owen. Ryan and Owen are hunting in the area when they come across an American black bear. This black bear was 200 pounds. Now, I'm not sure if they were intentionally hunting black bear, probably. Owen lines up a shot at the bear and takes it. Pew pew. The bear then runs off into the forest. So they take their time, wait for the bear to succumb, which is pretty standard practice for hunting, and then they follow the trail in the forest. Now, as they follow the trail, the bear suddenly appears out of nowhere and charges at the father Ryan. The bear knocks Ryan down, Ryan trying to defend himself, but is just overpowered by the bear. Now, 12-year-old Owen sees what's happening, and man, he really rises to the occasion. He acted quickly, aiming to protect his father and stop the bear just in time. The bear collapses on Ryan. Ryan pushes the bear off of himself and realizes that his 12-year-old son just saved his life. That's pretty badass of Owen, and hopefully he uses this as he's growing up. You know, when his dad asks him to clean his room or something, Owen can just be like, "Hey Dad, remember that time I saved your life from that bear? How about you clean my room?" The father did suffer some injuries though, some stitches on his cheek, but overall he came out way better than he should have. The father and son actually kept the bear, and it's a reminder of one of the wildest days they've ever had. Seriously though, Dad, you clean my room. So those were 3 crazy bear stories from 2024. Which one did you like the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you want even more long-form content, be sure to go check out Force of Nature Podcast. It's on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. We have over 130 episodes, so much different content, so go ahead and check it out. And remember, bears are awesome, incredible animals, but if you ever see one, keep your distance. If it is attacking your wife, jump on its back though. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining, and we will see you next time.